So, picture this. It's the year 2015. Fnaf 2 came out with huge praise and attention. Hoping for the next game, you type in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 on Google.com, hoping to find gameplay of Fnaf 3. But then, you find it. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Although, in a shocking and non-surprising turn of events, it actually isn't Fnaf 3. You've been lied to. It's just reusing Fnaf 1 and 2 assets, and it's extremely buggy and a fan-made animatronic, and it isn't its original name. Well, I sure hope the creator's nice to them. So, the Return to Freddy's. If you want a fan game series with a lot of shit that happened behind the scenes, an odd and confusing story, and some buggy gameplay, well, do I have the pentology for you. The Return to Freddy's was created by Tyler Alstrom, aka Pioneer Films, aka BFP Films 424, aka Yinkoyu. Yeah, he went through by a lot of names. But we're just gonna call him Tyler to make things easier. Fun fact, actually, I used to be obsessed with the series, and I used to love it. Emphasis on used to. Yeah, surprisingly, after learning about some shit that happened behind the scenes, and, well, the gameplay, I was no longer a fan. Until now, because of just how odd the series is. I mean, I find it the most interesting FNAF fan game, so why not talk about it, each game in its book? Yeah, I'm sure nothing will get confusing in the video later on. So, the Return to Freddy's 1, or it was originally called FNAF 3 Fan Game. This is easily the worst one in the pentology. Why, you may ask? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Buckle up. All of the animatronics aren't random and they move at a set time. Sometimes when you put up the mask, the animatronics will kill you anyway. The doors are entirely pointless. Sugar is just different renders of candy. All without permission from Emil Mako, by the way. So a Withered Balloon Boy edit. Jump scares are just the FNAF 2 ones, except for Golden Freddy in the original version. It was just Freddy's power out jump scare, but it was edited to look like Golden Freddy. Phone Guy's voice is extremely bassy, and he says a lot of ums and uhs in the background noise. Whether it's intentional or not, doesn't make the phone call guy good.
Hello? Hey, why are you staying here? Don't you have more important things in your life to do? Oh, anyways, I apologize for what happened 3 nights ago. I thought he was after me. Probably not.
And this was made before FNAF's sister location invented captions, so good luck trying to understand them. But the worst one of all. Look at how they massacred my boy! You look awful! The only thing I found that was original was the puppet's music box music, which apparently references a fan-made Slenderman song? I don't know, I'm just going off the wiki. And also 2 Shadow animatronics, Shadow, Doug, and Shadow Lockjaw respectively. And even then, there's another rip, because Shadow Lockjaw's jump scare is just the puppets. Okay, you're probably asking, oh my fucking goddamn. Okay, you're probably asking, what's the plot of this? Well, you're Mike Schmidt. Oh, I forgot to mention, cutscenes play after each night, and to be honest, I'm a bit confused on what it's trying to tell me. You're Mike Schmidt, and you've applied for a job at Freddy's. Phone guy, who's named Vincent, apparently. Once again, I'm going off the wiki for that. And wacky stuff happens throughout the night, but oh no, he dies the 5th night.
I'm scared, Mike. I don't know what to do. I don't know why it's me. It's always me. Please.
And that's the game. Except if you die. Sometimes you get these death minigames similar to FNAF 2 that explains more of the lore. So I might as well summarize them. Here we go. So basically, the first minigame, you play as Freddy, and it has funny letters playing in the background. Pretty silly. But there's also a Golden Freddy. You better look out for him. No, you gotta follow him actually. But there's a puppet as well. And then the next one is you also play, then you play Golden Freddy, but you go up and there's more animatronics. Ah! Okay, then the next room is gonna be pretty scary. You go in, the game freezes, but then you go in, and then it like flashes, hits me, and another purple guy in there. What? And then the golden Freddy jump scares you. And then you play as a funny PFP man. I think that's his name. I think in the wiki, and he does wacky stuff. He apologizes, I guess, and he goes to the puppet. And then you play as Vincent, not William Afton, Vincent, and you go and move around as him. What you do? I don't know. We got to find out. No, there's a room, and then what happens? What? What's this as well? Oh, you know, oh god, a cutscene minigame? What? This is pretty scary, guys. I don't know what's happening, but it's like a purple guy, like right there. Oh, it's doing a night 4 phone call from Fnaf 1. I'm pretty scared, guys. Honestly, this is pretty scary. Oh, golden Freddy, golden Freddy, well, but what's this? What the, okay, this is just, okay, this is just, okay, this is literally just the Fnaf 2 minigame. What is this? Oh no, except for the guy's car is pretty slow. It's a bit slow. But what's gonna happen when the purple guy touches him? Oh, what? He's gone. But what's gonna happen? Ah, puppet! Ah! Well, what? You play as a funny cat. That's pretty cool. Cats are pretty cool. Well, but what's that guy down there? That's a Miyamaka. Uh-oh. Well, this is a bit awkward. Now is that it? Okay, thank God we can finally move on. Alright, the squeakle. Surely by now Tyler has made it less buggy than the first game, right? Right? But before I talk about its bugs, can I just say, I'm glad Tyler is making original models and all, but good God, the TRTF2 animatronics look awful. You think that's bad? Just wait till you see the models from the demo. Anyways, let's begin with the bugs. Problem with the mask is still there, where they game end you even though they're not supposed to. Wait, that's it? Huh. Character development. But wait, you're probably asking, Sugar's in the game. Isn't he just more stolen renders? No, actually, it's an original model, actually. Even though the design, while withered, still kinda resembles Candy, and it's also just a great color, but animatronic in the same game. But alright. Gameplay and story section. Here we go. The game opens with a cutscene similar to Fnaf 2, except you're the puppet, I think. And to your left and right are Sugar and a new animatronic Kitty Faz Cat. Okay, off topic, but she was apparently created by Tyler's ex. Also, her online persona name was Kitty Faz Cat. Not to mention, it's a bit funny how now his least favorite animatronic is Kitty Faz Cat. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. Anyways, all of those cutscenes, they play after each night, and woo, now they're looking at you, and woo, now Golden Freddy is there, and Dad? Okay, new night guard. His name is Kenneth Katz. What? Don't look at me, I didn't name him. You play as him, and the new restaurant is Fredbear's Family Diner, according to the wiki. The phone guy also has a name, just like the first game, and his name is Allison. But good news, now you can sorta make out what the phone guy says. No more obnoxious bass, let's go!
Hello and welcome to your new summer job. I'm here to talk to you some things you can expect to see.
You got a mask again. It's still toxic though. You got a camera with a winding box, a winding generator, and a funny blue rectangle that makes fart noises.
See, in our first week here.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is just Fnaf 2 with extra steps. Yes. Moving on. Oh, wait! I forgot! The Death minigames are bad! Yes, baby! Okay, guys, our first minigame is pretty scary. Basically, you're playing as a Freddy, and you're in a pizza place, and you gotta follow the puppet. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is literally just the FNAF 2 minigame where you follow the puppet. Where's the originality? In our dinner, then the next one. What the? This is just the FNAF 2 minigame, but just different. With the FNAF 3 music, and you're not Freddy. Play as a funny guy with fedora, and you touch children. Wait, that sounds really bad. Oh, and then this one, you play as God, and you touch innocent boy. Wait, that's all that sounds bad. Oh God. Fuck. Okay, basically, this one is you play as the funny man again, and you follow a funny yellow bear. And wait a minute, this is the same thing as last time. What? Okay, basically, and now in this one, please, for the love of God, be original. Okay, this looks original though, but basically, you play as funny Shadow Man, the Sandman back. What? And there's a key. That's so cool. How do you even get up there? Who knows? Oh, there we go. Oh, what's gonna happen? What the fuck? Before we move on, I cannot discuss this game without mentioning this alpha. Good lord, the alpha. So now I will briefly discuss the 2 alpha builds.
I hear Kofefi.
There's a different map layout. It still uses FNAF 1 and 2 assets, including the jump scares. No phone call, despite there being a mute button. There's music playing when their animatronic is close. There's no puppet, and Freddy is normal.
Homer Simpson.
Map layout is the same as Alpha 1. There's a wine box featured out, but it does absolutely nothing. It still uses FNAF 1 and 2 assets. There's a phone call, but the extreme bass from TRTF 1 it returns, and it's a different script.
You get started this new and exciting career path. You're actually the first one to work at this location, but this stuff should be fairly easy.
And whatever the hell this thing is. And Freddy? Oh, ew. Well, that's all for this game. I could talk about the new animatronic named and how the title screen music is just the FNAF 2 title screen music, but reversed. But I should move on to... Okay, TRTF 3, in my opinion, is the greatest game in the series. And that's saying a lot. It has less game-breaking bugs, along with the models and textures being slightly better than TRTF 2. Keep in mind, this is still a TRTF game, so there is still bugs in some areas, and the gameplay is semi-unoriginal. Like, you can tell the FNAF 3 influence, and it's definitely not because of the puke green. As I mentioned earlier, the models and textures are getting better, so that's other character development, I guess. I do also like some of the animatronic designs, especially Foxy and Bonnie's. I do, however, have sad news for you sugar fans out there. He has canonically died and has been replaced by Vigo. Oh look! 3 bells! You all know what 3 bells mean, right? It means it's time to talk about the story and gameplay. You play as Blake, and 2 of his friends, Wilson and Chun, are the phone guys. Their plan is opening an abandoned restaurant and converting it to some amusement park or entertainment attraction place. Now, I do like the idea of 2 phone guys that swap each night, but only one problem is volume. The first phone guy's volume is pretty good. Could be a bit better, but it's still pretty good overall. You can kind of understand what he's saying. But for whatever reason, the guy that recorded the other phone guy, his voice was really quiet, and it's to the point where the ambience is louder than him. Not even joking, take a look.
Hey Blake, we just discovered a very dark secret about Frank Bird's Pizza. The murder of the 4 children and 1 missing child used to be an employee at both Frank Bird's and Frank Bird's family diner. And it's very interesting. His name is Fritz Smith. I don't think that's his name though. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste so much time. Come on.
So over time, animatronics are added each night, and you gotta defend yourself with either 2 things. First, you gotta either close a door in that break after like 5 seconds, and use a corrupt signal in a maintenance panel for animatronics that appear in the hallway. But later, no surprise, on night 6, they're shutting down the place, with the building getting destroyed. I wonder why. Except that's a complete lie, because in the extras menu, there's a night 7, and there's also a secret night 8. Now, I bet you're wondering, you said that this game had Fnaf 3 influence, and well, you mentioned what you mentioned was it's aesthetic. Surely he took more ideas. He sure did. You got an extras menu where the jump scare section is bugged out somehow. Next, you got 2 endings. The bad ending and the good ending. Oh, how do you get the good ending? Bro, shut up, I was getting to that! What you gotta do is click on posters and stuff in your office. Type in BFP and CD+ on your keyboard. Then you gotta wait for night 5 to click on this poster that was originally not that poster. Woo! And finally, you gotta click on this thing that you can barely see in the camera. And then you beat night 5 and you got the good ending. Now you see, the one issue of getting this ending is the amount of minigames that you have to play with little to no variety, and they're pretty much all the same. Because at least in Fnaf 3, there was a different variety of stuff you could click on other than just posters. Because you could click on 4 cupcakes, there's a code on the wall, and there's buttons on a cape cabinet. And you know what the stuff you gotta click on do the night minigames you play. Oh, and speaking of the night minigames, there are surely night minigames in TRTF 3. And they're pretty much the same as Fnaf 3, except you don't go to one area and then you die. What you gotta do, you gotta touch animatronics and then funny eyes show up. But then night 5 is when shit gets real, bro. Cause you play as Vincent. Oh god, not Vincent from TRTF 1. Oh no. Cause then he goes down and sees a child. And you gotta touch the child. Oh, that sounds awful out of context. Then you gotta have him run over to the funny Lockjaw suit, but then he cries. But then blood and he dies. Oh no, he dies. No. Anyways, yeah, let's just move on before I go mentally insane. Ladies, gentlemen, and those in between, welcome to the final game Tyler fully completed. Did he go out with a bang, or with a sneaky doo-doo? Well, you guys know the drill. Let's get to the bugs. Freddy not giving a fuck if you did a maneuver fast enough. Frank clanking for no reason.
I hope that— ah!
Kitty Fast Cat taking 2 billion years to leave.
7 billion years later.
That's what the kids call epic fail.
And the greatest one of all, getting jump scared when instead greeted by oh, this technically isn't even a glitch, as you need to do this glitch if you want to complete the hellscape that is the secret night 8. But I'm getting sidetracked. We're not talking about gameplay and story yet. Let's talk graphics. Besides the amount of red that's used, this is where Tyler actually got pretty good at modeling. I dig some of these animatronic designs, especially Lockjaw and Bonnie's. One problem though, none of them have necks, so the overall score is negative bazillion points. Alright, now let's discuss gameplay. It's meh. You have 2 options to defend yourself. A steam lever, that's only used for Lockjaw and Freddy, and a locker, which is pretty much a Freddy mask that affects the rest. There's also a lever that's on the left next to the cameras that you gotta pull down. There's also hallucinations that either get in the way or crash the game, because we just love that mechanic. Okay, what's the story? The same 3 people from TRTF 3, Blake, Wilson, and Chung, return and are opening a restaurant. Once again, same as TRTF 3, phone guys change each night, but we got a new one. His name is John. However, some of his and the other guys' calls are still pretty quiet.
Hey, we're set and prepared for our grand reopening of Fazbear Fantasyland, or Freddy Fazbear Funtime, whatever the name is.
Been overwhelmed by hormones. You're more than welcome to take a long break. You need it. Anyway, there are no more tapes to keep you kept by your.
And you also got tapes that the phone guys play after each night, which are pretty much the tapes in Fnaf 3, except they don't talk about Golden Freddy or Spring Body. They only talk about one, which is Golden Lockjaw. Ah, fuck, I died. Wait a minute. What's happening? Wait. Oh my god. Yes! The minigames are back! Let's go! Well, besides those, there are minigames that play after each night, and you play as Vincent. Oh no. Each night, a child is in different rooms, and you turn them into a .exe character from what it seems. But, if you know the game, you know of the upcoming 5th night minigame, and how utterly stupid it is. Alright, premise. There's no children around, except if you go down here. You see a character that appeared in a secret minigame in TRTF 3 called Gron. Okay, you gotta bear with me on this one. This is where it starts to get really stupid. So Gron stares at this child. He walks to the left, slips on a conveniently placed bar of soap, proceeds to get his entire body into a golden lockjaw suit, looks around for 3 seconds, and dies. Yes, that all happened in a matter of seconds. Yes, this is stupid. Yes, Tyler was high making that. But we're not over for a story though. After beating night 6, it kinda starts at like 5 a.m. You're encountered by the golden lockjaw suit, and he proceeds to game end you with some text after. Except this isn't text, it's just about Tyler venting, so I guess that's there. Okay, so this would be the part where I transition to the book, but we're not done with the games. We have some TRTF 5 and other related builds that we gotta talk about. Don't worry, these aren't gonna take as long as TRTF 1 through 4. Alright, we have now entered the hellscape that is TRTF 5 build/teaser games. Holy shit, there's so many. So let's get this out of the way quickly. You know, we've got a book to cover. Alright, so 2 teaser games were made for this. The first one has the planned menu that was supposed to be there in the game, a big line of text, and a minigame that both explain the TRTFR story, along with music that might get this video copyrighted. There's not really much to cover in this one, other than these animatronic designs, which I'll explain later. The second game is odd. You play as Gron, you know, that green person that slipped on soap and managed to die in an animatronic suit. And in the middle is a child who is supposedly your son, as this minigame thing is called Protect Your Son. And yeah, it's self-explanatory. You gotta defend your son against these lockjaw sprites. If they touch him, well, really actually nothing happens. But if you get touched by them, well, I'll just let this clip explain it. Before moving to TRTF Rebooted, I'll quickly explain who these animatronic designs are. They were called the Hybrid Animatronics, and they were going to be the big bads of TRTFR and a slight bit of TRTF Rebooted. But the first look at them, however, yikes, these were not good designs. He pretty much went back to a TRTF2 level of model quality. Thinking that he realized this and improved on some of them. So with that out of the way, let's go to... So, remember those hybrid animatronics I mentioned earlier? Well, forget them. They're no longer important now. We are now dealing with tortured animatronics from here on out. So, Tyler, at the time, decided to upgrade from Click Team Fusion to the 4th Unreal Engine. Don't worry, it literally just lasts for one build, so let's discuss this said build. TLDR, it's fucking boring. When clicking on a new game, you're greeted by an opening, which is alright, but slightly confusing on what the story is, in a way. So now we're outside and, oh mighty TRTF Wiki, who is our main protagonist from here on out? Oh, it's Call Me Carson. Cool. Too many words appear that explain the mechanics and now we're in. You have 2 options of going somewhere, going forward, or going a little detour behind some pipes. Only Lockjaw tries to attack you and he really doesn't do much besides growl a lot. So moving forward to the second floor. Wait, that's it? Oh, that kind of sucked. Oh, and there's also a third teaser game where you steal sugar heads and do minor platforming, but no. So let's move on to the final version. Okay, this is the final segment for the book, I promise, so let's just quickly go over the demos and teaser games. Teaser game 4, wait, I mean teaser game 6? This is actually one of the more fleshed out teaser games out of all of these, so it's pretty neat. First main game, you're in a house and a new character named Nightmare Lockjaw attacks you. This one's a bit strange. What you gotta do is ignore him by looking in a room that he isn't in while lots of background noise going on. Man, does it get a bit loud. Next, we got some minigames, and finally, we got screenshot previews for TRTF 5. Cool. Teaser game 7 is the last one, and oh dear lord, it's a shitty fan-made Undertale-like fight. Well, what do we got for demos? Well, lots of them are basically the same as TRTF Rebooted, except for 2. One of them is a actually public version called the Unfinished Demo, where it's only one floor, and Tortured Lockjaw, Freddy, and Foxy attack you. There's also a runtime demo that was not public, where it's a different map layout of floor 1, and there's a single minigame and no animatronics attack you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, let's finally move on to the final segment of this entire video, the book. Oh, where to begin with this book? Well, might as well start with a bit of context. This was released when Tyler was still working on TRTF 5, and it ends somewhat on a cliffhanger, because originally there was going to be 2 spin-offs that I will not be talking about because there's really not much to discuss. Well, might as well summarize the story as to the best I possibly can, and if anything gets confusing, oh well. The year is 1942. A secret Japanese facility called Gilbert Facility is working on a cure for super cancer. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, cure for super cancer. Oh, it's gonna be one of these stories, isn't it? The solution for this super cancer is a transferring machine for animatronic bodies, oh my god, this fucking story, dude. Okay, let me start this over. Oh my god. The year is 1942. A secret Japanese facility called Gilbert Facility is working on a cure for super cancer, and the solution for this is a soul transfer machine that uses animatronic bodies so they can live in there instead of their human bodies, I guess, while also having a chug jug codenamed Radsla as a last resort in a way. An American mafia boss named Allison wants this funny little machine, but the owner, Ally, is like, nah bro, you're cringe. And Allison's like, well, I guess we're going to Japan now, lol. Now in Japan, Allison goes crazy and goes stupid, game-ending people in Gilbert Facility, including Ally. He finds this chug jug and drinks half of it. What are the side effects? Well, it's sore throat, lightheadedness, no more of that little silly juice of yours, and 90% immortality. Oh my god. After this, Allison opens up a business named Fazbear Inc. in a restaurant called Goldie Parrot Diner, with one of our main protagonists, Gron and Vincent, working at both places. But then one day, they decide to sneak into a secret area in Fazbear Inc. and find out that Allison was a big meanie head. Because, well, I'll let the book explain why.
As they got to the last set of stairs, they peeked behind the wall without being seen, and saw something they'll never forget. They saw the lives of many being enslaved, whipped, beat up, and forced to work as the cries of the many echo across the stairs. They were forced to worship this false idol called the torture device that they saw was under construction and being forced to work on. Good fucking god, why did you make me read that, you fucking piece of shit? Fuck you, frowny face.
Allison later finds out about their Metal Gear Solid stealth mission and is marveling at the sign of this, and decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a lack of... He decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a lackey of... God. He decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a lackey with their Fallout stealth... He decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a He decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a lackey do a Fallout stealth with... Why is this like the hardest thing for me to say? Jesus Christ. He decides to do a Felix Kranken at Gron's family while having a lackey with their Fallout stealth... You know, a lackey just sneaks in and game ends their family. There you go. That's what he does. So after the funny wife dies, the younger son of Gron is sent to a foster family, and he leaves the older son at Gron's. But then later on, after Christmas, Gron leaves the older son a note that says he will be getting some milk at the local Costco. Gron's now at GBD and starts to go a bit silly seeing his younger self and game ending itself. Oh yeah, remember that scene of Gron slipping on a slope and accidentally falling into the golden Lockjaw suit and dying? Well, now it's retcon, and instead, Gron just puts it on and game ends himself. Why did he do that then? I don't know, there was like funny whispers of, After this, Vincent grinds Gron dead, and when Gron comes back to life, cause you know, that makes sense, he tries to game end Vincent and the employees. And I kid you not, this is what is in the book when everyone escapes.
You must never mention this to anyone, Portrait. I clear everyone as he says this to Vincent and the employees in the hidden bunker room. They all nodded and agreed. There would be no way of explaining such an event to the police. They would think they're completely nuts and potentially drunk.
Country switch! We are now at Gilbert facility, and somehow still up after the little funny incident Allison did. Now they need a security guard, so something funny like that never happens again. So they hire this guy named Lloyd with a single L, but occasionally also switches to another L. It's a bit confusing. He dies from Ally, who is now gone donkey after being revived. He then later dies again from Lloyd, by the way, so he didn't really last for long. And now Gilbert is now dead. Who started all of this funny stuff? Well, it's your boy Allison. Because, you know, we gotta have an antagonist in this story. Wait, I just realized to summarize chapter 4.
No.
It's now the year 1985, and Fredbear's Family Diner's opened. Wait a minute, this is TRTF 2. Oh man. Oh yeah, and also the youngest son of Gron dies from Allison, and Carl Parson is now with a foster family. Time jump is now 1987, and Vincent starts to go a bit silly, like Gron did, seeing a child, except Vincent decides to just beat the shit out of the little fucker, and makes the child go into Lockjaw suit game ending himself. And now Karneth Kotz is later hired as a night guard, and now the child inside the suit is now alive. The child inside of Lockjaw now has the ability to put his soul inside other animatronics, because you know, that makes sense. He wants to do that so he can find help. But Karneth is like, nah, lol, and he resigns as a night guard after 6 nights. Because, you know, that makes sense. Being smart, Vincent decides to expand the building and rename it to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Because I too would want to do that after hearing about that funny little story. Time jump. It is now 2015. The Freddy area did not do well because that makes sense. And I don't know what he was expecting. Mike Schmidt's now the night guard, and he apparently has experience with this stuff of animatronics moving at night. Because Mike states, oh god damn it, not this shit again. The child from before now has come up with the idea of ripping apart animatronics, because you know, that makes sense, and they gotta have the reason why he uses the withered animatronic models in TRTF 1. And Mike says, fuck this lol, and leaves after a few nights. Kinda like how Karneth did. And, oh, and also Vincent dies, but he saw a woman for the first time. Small time jump. Blake, Wilson, and Chung come up with the original idea of having an animatronic restaurant called Fazbear Fantasyland. Ah, it's the location of TRTF 3. Oh, hoo, hoo. Blake's now the night guard, and the animatronics try to attack him after Lockjaw makes his grand return. And after 6 nights, the place opens up for a test run, because you know it's gonna go well. And Lockjaw kills 6 children on the day after trying to hug them. Alright, that makes sense. And now the building is destroyed with the animatronic still inside, and the ghost child is now free. Yeah! What a happy ending. No, it's not a happy ending, you fool. There's a few more chapters left. Time jump. It is now the year 2030. Blake, Wilson, Chung, and now John decides to open an animatronic restaurant again after these types of restaurants were banned due to the Fazbear Fantasyland incident. After having a conversation with the US government, it went basically like this. Hey, can we open up an animatronic restaurant? Because we're also the ones that opened Fazbear Fantasyland, so you can trust us. Okay, fuck off. Blake's not the night guard again, and stuff happens, I guess. It's the firefight chapter, I just want this to get done. So everyone except for Blake finds the golden lockjaw suit, and he game ends Blake because he thought that Blake was Allison. Because, do you remember Allison? You know, the main antagonist? No, you didn't, you're just lying. He disappears in time jump. It is now 2035. Carson finds a rip-off adult animatronic building called Frankfurt's. Carson goes in as an investigator. Game ends Allison and the others. Got the end. Jesus Christ. I can finally end off this freaking video. So that was the Return to Freddy's. Do I still think it's one of the most interesting fan games? Do I still think the game's entertaining? After all that I said about it and chat on it from the developer and all the other stuff? Yes. This is one of those series that have a so bad it's good entertainment value. The story is not good since you just heard it, and it is great at the same time. I didn't even mention the shitty grammar and spelling errors in the book. There are so many of those. It's honestly an entertainment value, but it's also an annoyance. So that's a bit of a shocker. But not to mention the amount of retconning that happened that I didn't even mention, other than the slipping soap funny. So overall, I'd give the Return to Freddy's 4 soaps out of 5 golden lockjaw suits. In the next video, I will give a full explanation, a deep, thorough explanation of why Lick Juice is the most important character in the Trtf saga.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.